Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. How are you? I welcome you to our today's episode as we continue to sharpen one another. Even a sword can sharpen another sword. And as we together move on, I want to most sincerely welcome you back to this channel. This is our home. And to our new members, feel welcome. Have a seat, enjoy. And to our returning subscribers, feel welcome once again. Let's continue together. Ahead lies a good career. Ahead lies a good destiny for your kid, for your child. So let us together believe in God for a better life ahead. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a seat, be comfortable. Have a pen and a book where you can note one or two things. Please share this, whatever we are going to discuss. Please like. Please leave me a comment, ask a question, and let us learn from one another. You can also add to the many points that I'll be giving today, and you're welcome as we move on. So today I want to tackle something about the most asked questions about CBC. There are those questions that almost everyone is asking him or herself, and I have tried to gather a few of those questions and with their answers. So let us start together. Question 1. What is the major change in senior secondary schools under the new CBC reform? The answer is all senior secondary schools in Kenya will become mixed gender institutions and predominantly day schools effective January 2026. In other words, as we move from the former 844 system, there is something that will change. Initially, some of the schools were boys' schools, others were girls' schools, others were mixed, meaning they have both gender. But unto our senior secondary schools, the CBC, they will be purely mixed gender, meaning boys and girls will learn in the same institutions. Question 2. When will the pioneer CBC students transition to senior secondary school? Or rather, when will the pioneer CBC cohort transition to senior secondary schools? Watatoka junior secondary schools lini? So the answer is the pioneer CBC cohort currently in grade 9 will transition, or they will move to senior secondary schools in January 2026. Question 3. What assessment will students take, or what exam are we waiting that those students shall take before they get to senior secondary school? The answer is students will take Kenya Junior School Education Assessment, that is the KJSEA, in November 2025. That is the major exam that grade 9 students shall take before they move to senior secondary school. Question 4. How will students be placed in senior secondary schools? The correct answer is placement will be determined by two things or by two factors. One of them is the school-based assessment or the SBA. This school-based assessment will give the student 40%. The second factor that will determine where the students will be placed in senior secondary school is the KJSEA scores. That is the Kenya Junior School Education Assessment scores. What will the student score? And this exam, the major exam, will give the student 60%. And so when you add the 60% from the KJSEA scores and the school-based assessment, that is the SBA scores, then the student will have a total of 100%. The other question 5, what is included in the school-based assessment, the SBA? What is there in the school-based assessment, that is the SBA? The correct answer is, in the school-based assessment, that is the SBA, we have 1, practicals and projects, and these practicals and projects are conducted in term 2 of each year. Remember junior secondary school have 2 years, and the practicals and projects will always be conducted or have been they have been conducted and they are continuing to be conducted in term 2 of each year. Number 2, the SBA consists of written assessments, that these are the ones that are administered in term 3 annually. So for each year, there will be written assessments. Each year, SBA contributes 20% to the final score. Each year as SBA, that is the score-based assessment, contributes 20% to the final score. And now that we have 2 years and each year is contributing 20%, then a total of 40% will be given to the student by the end of junior secondary school. And that is why I said up here that the SBA will give the student a total of 40%. The other question 6, what are the 3 specialized career pathways under CBC model? The correct answer is there are 3 pathways under the CBC model. And just to remind you from our previous video, the 3 pathways are 1, STEM. STEM is STEM, and those are initials. Haimaanishi STEM ya mmea. Those are initials, and the initials mean S for science, T for technology, E for engineering, and M for mathematics. In this STEM, we have, under STEM we have pure science, we have applied science, we have technology, and we also have engineering. Technology and engineering, and we also have career technology studies, the CTS. The number 2 pathway in CBC, we have social science, and under social science we have humanities, we have business studies, we have languages, and we also have literature. The third pathway, we have arts and sports science. And under arts and sports science, we have performing arts, we have sports, and we also have visual arts. Question 7. How will students' career pathways be determined? In other words, how will the student be placed? Like, what is this that will determine the career pathway that each and every student shall go to? Number 1, we have the KJSEA results. Those are the results from the major exam that I said will be done in November. That is the Kenya Junior Secondary Education Assessment. Number 2, the other thing that will determine the student career pathway is the SBA performance. That is the 40% from the school-based assessment. And number 3 thing that will determine the student career pathway are the hobbies or the personal interests. And about the hobbies or the personal interest of the student, they will be assessed through NEC questionnaires. NEC questionnaires. That is what will determine the hobbies or the personal interests of the student. Meaning, there will be a form. A questionnaire is a form. And this form have got different questions. And these questions are meant to guide whoever is reading the answers from the form, that those are the answers given by the student. Those answers will guide the person reading them towards what the hobbies are of that particular student. As from the hobbies, we are able to know what the student can do best. Question 8, what is the purpose of the NEC questionnaires? The correct answer is they assess students' strengths, preferences, and talents to ensure that the students are placed in senior secondary schools and career pathways that are the very best according to the students' ability. I hope you are still taking notes. Breathe in, breathe out. I hope you still is taking notes. These questions will guide you as a parent when you are also guiding your child. So we move on. Question 9. What factors will influence school placement under CBC model? What factors will influence school placement under CBC model? Yaani ni mambo gani hayo ambayo yataangaliwa sana ndio mtoto wako ajue ni shule gani atapelekwa. One of the factors ambayo ita determine ni wapi mtoto wako atapelekwa, one of them ni distance. That is the distance from your home to the school. And with the initiative of the government, students will be placed in senior schools near their homes. So it won't it will not be a wonder to find a student, for example, who is just in the neighborhood of Mangu going to Mangu other than be taken to another county that is very far away. So each and every student will be placed in senior schools that are near their homes. The other factor ambayo ita influence ama itafanya nini that will determine the school placement ama factor ambayo ita direct mtoto wako atawekwa shule gani ni gender integration. About the gender integration, that is to mean lazima boys and girls wakue pamoja. So the fact is all senior secondary schools will be mixed, meaning all senior secondary schools in Kenya will have boys and girls together. We will no longer have boys schools alone. We will no longer have girls schools alone. We will have all of them boys and girls together. The other factor ambayo ita direct ni wapi mtoto wako atawekwa ni inclusivity and regional balance. So this is to mean that there shall be fair distribution of students across senior secondary schools in the country. Lazima shule zote in the country zikuwe ziko na distribution mzuri in matters pathways, depending on what will be offered in a particular school. Lazima kuwe na regional balance. So hakuna kusema ati sababu, let me give an example of a student who is whose parents come from Mombasa, and those parents are living in Kiambu. The student will not be taken to Mombasa where him or her has been born from, but shall be taken to the nearest school. So it will not be a matter of which tribe is in this area and which tribe is not in this area. As long as learners are secure, then they can be anywhere. But remember, all senior secondary schools will be mixed, and they must be having students that come from that very local area. So that is like to mean, in short, we will not have boarding schools. They will all be day schools. Question 10. What is the significance of the distance factor in school placements? In other words, it is like to be asked, how far will the senior schools of choice be from the student's home? The answer is, the students will be placed in schools near their homes to shorten the distance and increase accessibility of the school. So no one will be taken in a school that is very far away. One, we do not want the parent to use a lot of money in the fare, and we also would wish the student to access the school anytime and never be late. Question 11. How will infrastructure affect placement of students in senior secondary school? Infrastructure in this case, there are all those things that are required, for example, for practical part of the learning. For example, there is this pathway, the STEM. It is science oriented, meaning we must have in the schools science laboratories that are equipped with everything that is needed. So the correct answer to this question is the schools that are currently national schools. In the 844 system, we have those schools that are currently national schools. About those national schools, they have a major advantage that they have enough and better infrastructure. For example, they have equipped laboratories. So to such, these schools may accommodate all the three pathways. Now that they have enough and better infrastructure to cater for all the three pathways. I've just given an example of them, but remember the same national schools like Mangu, for example, it is known to even have an aeroplane, meaning those students that will be taking aviation will have access to the practical bit of it from the aeroplane. So to such schools that are currently national and they are the best in terms of infrastructure, they can accommodate all the three pathways. On the other side, at the 844 system, there are those schools that are currently extra county and the others that are county schools, the sub-county schools. So for those, they may only offer at most 2 pathways due to their limited resources, unless, which is rare, unless they also based on other factors, unless they have enough and better infrastructure. That is the only time they can offer 3. But currently, how they are known, the extra county and the sub-county schools, they are only likely to offer only 2 pathways, at most 2 pathways. Question 12. What is the goal of the new CBC reforms? So there are those major changes that are being done under CBC. For example, that part of making the current national schools, the extra county schools, and the sub-county schools, the county schools, the major change to make sure that they accommodate learners from their local environment. So the main goal is to improve learning outcomes, also to enhance access to education to all students, and also to ensure students receive education according to their interests and career aspirations. Question 13. How is the CBC model different from the current school categorization system? We have a CBC model, and it is different from the current school categorization system, and we are being asked how the CBC model is different from the current school categorization system, and the correct answer is CBC model eliminates the current classification of schools. CBC inakuja kuondoa yale majina yanapewa mashule, like currently we have national schools, we have extra county, we have sub-county schools. So CBC model eliminates the current classification of schools into national schools, extra county schools, and sub-county schools, and instead students will be placed in schools based on career pathways, their performance, and also their hobbies or their personal interests. Question 14, and I hope you're still noting down these questions. As I have just said, they are very, very, very important, especially to the person who has been given the role of guiding the student into which career pathway to choose. So question 14, what is the role of the major exam that the students shall take just before they quit the junior secondary school? And this major exam, as I've just said, this is the Kenya Junior School Education Assessment, the KJSEA exam. So what is the role of this exam? Ama inafanya iko na manufaa gani? So the correct answer is KJSEA, or the Kenya Junior School Education Assessment, is the final exam, or it is the final assessment in junior secondary school, and it determines 60% of a student's placement score, and it plays a key role in shaping students' academic and career path in senior secondary school. So hii major exam inakuja kupatia mwanafunzi 60%, na kumbuka ndio ijae ifike 100%, hiyo 40 ingine ni ya SBA, the school based assessment, ambazo huwa zinafanywa within the school. Lastly and finally, question 15, when will the Ministry of Education release official guidelines for the transition of students from junior secondary school to senior secondary school? So the answer, and hopefully it won't change. The Ministry of Education under the current Cabinet Secretary is expected to release the guidelines this month, that is March 2025. How I hope and pray that it won't change, and so that the parents and all stakeholders in the education sector can each of them be equipped with the correct information as we continue to guide our learners matters career pathways. So I hope you have taken note of all those 15 questions. And just to add something retro, there was also another question, though it has been tackled amongst the 15 questions, and it is asking, will there be a major exam before joining senior secondary school? So yes, there will be a major exam. And the other question is, which exam is this? Which exam is this? In other words, which exam will the students sit for before they join senior secondary school? The answer is, this is the Kenya Junior Secondary Education Assessment. Initial-wise, this is the KJSEA. So just in case I was quick for you to note one or two things, please leave me a comment in the comment section and I will guide you accordingly. So remember, a sword sharpens another sword. You also from your side could be having insights still on CBC. Leave them in the comment section as I will also learn from it, as well as that other parent will be reading the comments. He or she will also be guided in the right way. So I wish to thank you for you have been with me throughout. Please, as I said at the beginning, to our new members in this family, I welcome you most sincerely, and to those people who have been watching and for one reason or another they have just forgotten subscribing and joining this big family, please consider subscribing. Subscription is very free. Unikufinya hapo tu pameandikwa subscribe, and then you'll join us as we grow this family. Because one thing that we all know is, when you subscribe to a channel, you assist the owner of the channel to reach as many people as possible. And remember, many parents are not yet very sure of what they are supposed to do, or even how they are supposed to guide their learners matters CBC. So by you subscribing, by you liking, by you sharing, by you commenting also in how we can improve this channel, we will be in a position to reach even more and many people than we are doing right now. So thank you, even as you touch the subscription button. Oh, thank you. You have just become the newest member of this family, so you're welcome. Thank you for honoring my request. Thank you for subscribing. May God bless you. My prayers still remain. May God guide and guard your student as he or she selects the pathway that will take him or her to the best career ever. May God bless you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Good morning, good evening once again, good afternoon, good night. May God help us to meet yet another time. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is well with you. Remember, never lose hope. Amen.